are you connected to this Women's March organization, and why did you decide to join?
I think one of the wonderful things about the Women's March is it's really bringing together organizations around the U.S. with a lot of different interests. And I, for one, was not a part of the founding organization. I simply knew that the march was happening and I wanted to be here. It was really important personally to raise my voice and stand up for, I think, a lot of groups, women especially, but a lot of groups that Trump has already negated and denied in his campaign, and to make that voice heard as we go into his presidency.
Mm-hmm. So exactly what, if you can tell him in person, what would you want to say? What do you and the other protesters want to achieve by joining this march? Just to have your voice heard to begin with, but what in the end do you want to achieve?
I think in the end, it is to say there is a large constituency that believes in human rights, that believes in civil rights, that believes in, serving the entire community. And you need to be aware that we are here and we are strong and we are watching. And your policies as a president representing the United States of America should represent our communities as well.
Now, to your knowledge, where are the other protesters mostly from, and how many people so far have confirmed that they will join the march?
As far as I know, there are a wide variety of numbers ranging from hundreds of thousands to more than 1 million people that are planning to be here for the march on Saturday. I know that people are coming in from all over the U.S. In fact, I came to D.C. from Los Angeles yesterday, and the majority of my plane was people coming out for the march and not for the inauguration. But I also know that the majority of them are coming from the Eastern Seaboard, buses coming from Boston, from New Jersey, from New York City, from Florida, driving in to D.C. for the march.
Yes, I can understand that. But there are also a lot of people who have voted for Donald Trump, I guess mostly in the areas where, for instance, in the Rust Belt or in the Bible Belt, where people have felt that, their voices need to be represented by someone like Donald Trump. How do you want to communicate with them?
I understand that there was a lot of people that feel really marginalized and, looked to Trump as a candidate who would be outside the system and who would address their needs in a new way. I am very concerned that the moves that he has made up until today, the people that he has appointed for his cabinet, for his various his various appointed positions, don't reflect outsider status. They don't reflect people who are coming in with a new vision. They reflect a lot of people who have been doing the same stuff and have not expressed an interest for the population in general. That that there's an attitude of me first and me last, and I think that that's very unfortunate. And I am very concerned about what it will do for the rest of the citizens of our nation.
Well, there have been so many top performers and celebrities and people, ordinary people as well, turning down the requests to celebrate, to perform for Donald Trump, or changing their minds about appearing at Trump's inauguration ceremony. This division of this country is more than obvious, and many people even are calling for Trump's impeachment before he has taken office. Do you think there will be any hope of people coming back together under the leadership of Trump?
I think that there's hope. I mean, there is hope for anything. I think that would require a spirit of cooperation and collaboration on the part of the Trump presidency, and an interest in working with other groups, which is not an attitude or an interest that I have seen in the campaign or in the setup and the announcement of various appointees. But anything is possible. We'll see what happens in the next 100 days.
And finally, what are you going to do from now on? We're 2 hours away from the inauguration ceremony. Where are you going to go, and what are you going to do for now?
Honestly, I'm going to try and stay far away from the inauguration and the ceremonies. The entirety of downtown Washington, D.C. is blocked off with that $100 million of security, and I'm going to stay away and try and just have a quiet day on my own, and then get ready for the march tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth Dell from the Producer Guild of America, for joining us from Washington, D.C. You're watching The Point with me, Liu Xin, on CGTN. We'll take a short break and we'll talk to another person who is closely related to the relationship between U.S. and China when we come back. Stay with me.